Hey guys, how's it going? So, another week, another mobile suit, and this time we got a flying, not not just flying, not transforming flying, but flying port in the form of Zero Shiki Type 2, and we're assuming the AR is Amuro Ray. So yeah, real quick though, before we get into the video and stuff and talking about this, um, this video is a little bit late. Next one's possibly going to be two. Hopefully, I get everything up. Just going to be busy the next 2 to 3 weeks. The streaming schedule could be affected as well. But anyway, here we go. Hopping in to the video. Also, that means the podcast, which should be coming out the same day as this video here today. But anyway, here we go. Looking at it, it's got the back binder kind of. So essentially, everybody was like the Zero Shiki. Oh, cool! It's got the flying thing, but it didn't. So it's like a modified version of the Rick Diaz thing, but apparently they didn't have it all the way, but now they do. So there we go. So it's essentially kind of the Shoes Room Diaz kind of thing, only it can fly, and it can use the shrapnel bazooka kind of the same way. So if you like the Shoes Room Diaz and you don't like the Scooty style because this thing actually walks, you can play like that. Like I said, it can use the shrapnel bazooka, you can use the normal bazooka. It doesn't have the normal Zero Shiki beam rifle, but it does have it as a sub-weapon, which is pretty cool. Only it's its own like Zero Shiki Type 2 beam rifle. It does a little bit less damage, but pretty much other than that works the same, and it doesn't focus fire. I didn't actually know the Zero Shiki focus fire, just because, I mean, the base damage on that thing, just spamming it just claps. So yeah, you definitely want to shoot it most of the time. But I guess if you're trying to get a stagger off, and I don't know how much of the percentage it does if you full charge a Zero Shiki rifle, but yeah, that was cool information to hear from chat here the other day. But overall, so far, really fun suit. Damage, I feel, is a little bit lacking unless you're using the shrapnel bazooka. And the shrapnel bazooka or the Shiki beam rifle allows you to deal with raids approaching you and break their maneuver armor a little bit easier. The recent buff to maneuver armor has definitely made it a little bit harder, I've noticed, when raids are boosting at me. Luckily, the shrapnel bazooka has a crazy stagger ratio, so not a big deal there. The other thing, the back beam is pretty solid. And another thing we found out is that flying suits like the Goof Flight Test and the Goof Flight Type just have a base stagger ratio of only 80% rather than the normal percentage that have, which was kind of interesting when we were trying to, test out why I was getting knocked out of the air from a bazooka. Turns out the bazooka from a Dryson does 85%, I believe. So there you go. Also, the Tristan fully charged beam rifle does 85% as well. Both of those can knock you out of the air just fine. So anything that is over 80% seems to knock this thing out of the air, or anything that can accumulate stagger that fast. Like, for instance, was it the Rick Diaz 2, or I think it was the Tristan just normal beam shot me, and then just like 3 Vulcans. I don't even know if it was its Gatling. But either way, just pew pew pew, and I was just down on the ground. So be very careful for anything, and this explains why the test type and the flight type feels so bad now from that nerf. I wonder with this coming in if we might get a buff here later, because falling out of the sky, which is kind of funny when you're just shooting another one out of the sky. Overall though, I haven't been seeing too many of them as of after the first day. So far I like it. It's a ton of fun. Will it be a meta support? That's to be seen. But so far I've been enjoying it, and for people, missing some shots, or depending on what suits I'm going against, this thing feels great. Because, a bazooka isn't the easiest thing to hit a flying suit with, and with just a few thruster parts, well, a couple thruster parts, you can get quite a bit of thrust. So I think the suit is very solid, but is it going to be top tier? Because you're still competing with the MLRS at that point, and then you've got the C1, which in my opinion, definitely still on top for 600 cost. Sadly, all I've got is the 600 version. I haven't got to play much of the 550, but from what I can tell, 600, it definitely has some problems. 550, though, definitely more viable and could be an alternative to using some of the other supports that exist there. Again, look out for getting taken out of the sky because you have glide structure 3, so you fall for days. And that can allow a raid to take their time getting to you. It's kind of funny how slow you fall with this thing. Other than that, it does have a new skill where you can aim your melee. So the melee on this thing is insane. I don't know if they showed it here in the video, but let's see if we can get a melee swing here. There we go. Look at that. That is Stamen Melee Plus. Come on, go back. Okay, wow, this thing like skips back 1 second. But there you go. And it's so you actually can boost back out of it a little bit sooner. But that hold can actually still hit some people as you scoot forward. It's a little weird. I don't know if it's lag or what, but I've knocked over quite a few people and teammates. But overall, definitely a really cool Stamen Plus swing, but you can do it in the air. Now, the thing is, if you're flying and you do that and somebody counters, you just get normal staggered, and that's it. But if you kind of swoop in, you kind of do it like a little swoop motion. It's not it's not as big as probably what I'm doing there, but it's definitely, you can kind of aim it a little bit. And since it's so long, you can actually, maybe miss a teammate or hit other teammates by accident. So yeah, like I said, really cool. I like it so far. Tons of fun to play. Remember to downswing in the air rather than just downswing, because you are a little bit slower, but you can get that off and actually not have too much risk involved, and then follow up with something else. Other than that, let's see, that's about... Oh, your damage is reduced when you're in the air because of this skill that aims your melee as well. It's not by much, but it does reduce it by a little bit. So I don't think it's necessarily enough to be like, don't fly. But if you can just sit there in a position and just, rain damage down on somebody, but you're close enough to the ground that you could just swap out of it, I would swap out of it, do your damage, get back in it, and then fly away. The last thing, too, with that is when it lands, it is very graceful. It is, like, seamless. It's like, one of those scenes in a movie where, like, the wings or whatever, some, like an angel wings or something, it flies down and just kind of gracefully steps. It is the smoothest transition I think I've seen from fly to step. But anyway, that's pretty much the big thing of this patch. The other things we got here, we got the normal suit from the AU. Then we got Nemo 3 and Barzam level 3. That's a 550 Barzam. Sadly, the Barzam feels weak even at its base cost. I wish they would buff it a little bit. Wrong word. And, yeah, because I'd love to use it with the Shrapnel Bazooka, but I could just use something else, which, again, just makes me a little sad. Nemo 3, really cool. The thing is, you definitely want the level 3 cannon if you're going to use it, but definitely think it has a place with the cannon, for sure. Moving on, we have a half off step up for this banner. So, get in there at least for the half off, definitely worth. Since I had 100 tokens, because I haven't spent any tokens really since last month, I was able to do all of these, and it was pretty sad. The first 2 steps weren't that bad. I got another Zommel, by the way, 650 Zommel, out of... I don't know what these step-ups, why they hate me so bad, but 650 Zommel again. And a Grandpa Gundam from the Guaranteed 3-star again as well. I raged. It was probably a little loud, but at least I was in there yelling. But yeah. No, but for real though. It was kind of funny. It was hilarious, not gonna lie. At least it wasn't a... Black Medea giving me the Grandpa Gundam. I forgot what it was. Oh, I think I actually got a Black Medea for when I first got this suit, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, moving on to the ticket shop, we have the GBO1 and the GBO2 Beam Bazooka, level 2 of each. Definitely really good suits. Can recommend both level 2s. Sadly, there is definitely better for the GBO2. And, I mean, the Rick Diaz 2 is there now, which I think is probably the best raid we got. Other than that, you got the Bawu that's still up there. Even the Jarja, I think, can go up to 600 now. So, there are definitely options that beat the Beam Bazooka, but I'm a big fan of the GBO2. So, yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at the screen, I did not get it. But I definitely should get it next time it's in the rotation. Hopefully it shows up again, but these should be now in the ticket shop, so keep a watch for these suits. The Gelgu Jaeger level 4 is another one. Sadly, by that point, it's kind of fallen off. I wish they would buff the suit, especially with the clan suit that's out. And the Gun Cannon Detector level 1 and 2, which is top tier. So if anything, go get the Detector level 1 and maybe even the level 2 if you like the level 1. Top tier, so be on the lookout for those, because I think they might be out of the rotation, or they, they're in the rotation, but they might not be in there as of when this video goes up. But yeah, can highly recommend that. Top tier level 1. I might actually say the Nemo 3 is a little bit better at the cost for level 2. Also, the Beam Bazooka is in there. That's one of the big deals, is having that. Sadly, I wouldn't spend the tickets. So yeah, I might honestly just end up waiting for the DP store before I get both of these, which might be quite a ways away, but that might be the better way to do it. Because the Beam Bazooka got buffed recently, and that's a big deal for that suit, as far as just competing with damage. Otherwise, it's tanky as all get out, and the shield is huge defense. Really good distraction rate. Moving on, in the DP store, we got the Zuda F. Really cool suit. Can recommend trying it out. It's a 2-star, so it should be a little bit lower in ranking for what you need to buy it. And the Nemo level 1 and 2 is finally in the DP store. You can also recommend the gun for the suit is probably twice as much as what the suit cost. I wish they would lower it. Speaking of lowering it, 400,000 DP was the original cost for the Gun Cannon Detector level 1. Now it's been lowered to 147,000 DP in the DP store. Also, since it's a level 2, well, I guess it's still probably major and up. But the reason that they put a suit in at that cost for veteran players kind of shows how good they know that suit is. Hopefully, oh yeah, and the tickets do kind of reflect the 2-star thing though, so it's definitely less. Moving on though, last thing we're going to cover is the clan ranked. So, 350 4v4 simple battle Arctic base. Just going to really quickly cover this because it'll be going on tonight where this video is going up. So, if you, good luck to everybody getting in on this one. If you're just watching it right before or after, hopefully you did well, and hopefully you guys had fun in this one. This is a nice cost Arctic base, which is kind of interesting. It very much felt just like a normal Arctic base basic, probably because it's so small. Being able to spawn everywhere doesn't really change that map much. So, definitely kind of cool. What was I trying? I tried the missile launcher sniper custom. Wasn't too bad. The new mission suit wasn't too bad. Definitely fun to leg people, but especially in this, you kind of want something that's going to be a little more stagger potential and helping the team. So I'm probably going to be doing the Dom multi-gun. It's versatile in the ability to move around and break maneuver armor if there's a raid coming at you, and that's kind of the big deal. I tried the Gun Tank 2, which I think is a great support at that cost. Probably the only tank I'll ever play other than a transforming one. And it was a little bit slow compared to having to move around on a map where everybody's kind of right there in your face. Other than that, there is a couple other options. You know, you can go with the classic gun cannon, and I guess there's, well, no, I'd say the multi gun, the rabbit type or the Zaku cannon isn't too bad. And like I said, the gun cannon mass production, if I didn't say mass production, would be the other support. Generals, you got actually quite a ton of stuff. I'd say the best is probably the Pell Rider. The Test Tropical Dom was really good. Oh, I don't have it, but the Aqua Gundam, or the Aqua type Gundam, whatever it is amazing. It's fantastic. There was a lot of people trying that in our practice. It was great. But yeah, anyway, good luck though. And if you're watching this later, then hopefully you had some good matches and you guys did well. But anyway, guys, usual stuff in the description, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, stuff like that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But anyway, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace!